All right, let's do it. Everybody, welcome back. New episode, Primetime Sports Podcast. Listen, we had a few weeks off. Obviously, Thanksgiving.
Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Enjoyed the time with the fam.
Hope everyone enjoyed. Just a lot of busy weeks, with school and whatnot. A lot of bullshit. But, yeah, listen, got a lot of interesting things to talk about today. We're going to start off with MLB. Winter meetings are going on. We're a month into free agency. A lot of things have been going down over the past week. Biggest one being Juan Soto to the Mets.
Yeah, Juan Soto to the Mets.
I said it on the original podcast. I said, Juan Soto, come on down to Queens. Come play with Lindor. It finally happened. We got Juan Soto. It's definitely a great feeling. More to add, though, on that front. Hopefully we bring back a Pete Alonso and Sean Manaea. Would love to add a third baseman. Move Vientos to DH.
There's a lot of holes on that Mets team. A lot of holes.
Not a lot.
A lot of holes.
Not a lot. You're
a lot.
Your outfield is set. You got your shortstop set. Your third baseman. First baseman should be set if we bring Alonso back. Catcher's good. It's
Alvarez?
I mean, this year he kind of had a down year, but 2023 was a dog.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think the Mets have a lot of average to good players. They have Lindor and Soto, who both all-stars, superstars, top at their position. But other than that, I don't. I mean, Jose Siri in center field is a liability on offense.
I mean, defensively, though, he's the best probably center fielder.
That's great. When it comes to the playoffs, if you get there and stuff like that, batting, sub 200 and being a good defender is not going to cut it. The Yankees just had that situation with Verdugo. It doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. You need more than two guys, maybe even more than three guys. You need a full 9 in the playoffs, and that's what the Dodgers had. And that's what most teams really don't have, which is why,
I mean, the Mets don't have a full 9, but you bring back Alonso and you have a good 5. I feel like you need to add another guy to that because I think Alvarez.
But a good 5 and no pitching, which is a huge. I mean, you need pitching more than a lineup, but.
But here's the thing: it's so early.
It's early.
It's so early. Like moves go on for we're still winter meetings go on today and tomorrow. Like I said, it's very early. I mean, things go down from now to January, and I know it's rare, but even up to beginning of February, like that's when things normally happen. So like, I think you definitely need to add to the pitching. I think you need to bring back Sean Manaea and add another good pitcher. Maybe Garrett Crochet. I know teams were interested, but Yankees got Max Fried, so that took him out of the running.
Yankees got Fried, Dodgers got Snell.
I think I saw something like Red Sox were interested in Corbin Burns, which I mean I would hope that's the case.
There's a lot of teams in Corbin Burns. A lot of teams interested.
I think it was like
the A's stole Severino from the Mets.
I mean, listen, it's fine. I mean, Sevy was good for a decent amount last year, but I mean, you kind of replaced him with Frankie Montas, and I know Severino's better, but the hope is your pitching lab can help Montas turn his career around. Well, I mean, that's what they did with Sevy. I mean, that's what they did with Sean Manaea.
I wouldn't say they did that with Sevy. I think Sevy would.
His numbers before the year he signed with the Mets, his numbers that the year before were terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really, really bad year the year before, but before that, I mean, he was a star, and then injuries killed him. And he came back, he didn't pitch well, and then went to the Mets. And, I mean, you could say it was due to the pitching staff, but it also had to do with, like, now he had a full year of recovery and he was back healthy.
I mean, Mets have a great pitching lab. That's why a report came out yesterday that Roki Sasaki is interested in the Mets because, obviously, New York and endorsements and whatnot, but also he loves their pitching coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of factors.
I mean, when you had, like, obviously you could say Sevy, but he came to the Mets, bad year, left the Mets. He had a good season, and the same thing with Sean Manaea. He came to the Mets, wasn't that good, and now hopefully we bring him back, but he had an amazing season for the Mets. So,
yeah.
I mean, the pitching coach, I mean, that's got to count for something.
Again, then you also have to talk about, like, where Manaea came from. He came from an A's team that was in the gutter. I mean, a bad A's
I
team. So
mean-
he had no help. I mean, you got to look at DeGrom when he was in the Mets prior. I mean, he was a superstar, but his record was terrible or an average record because they didn't help him. So when you look at his numbers,
I mean, he wasn't. He play after he left the A's. He played for 2 more teams and then went to the Mets. He played for the Padres and for the San Francisco Giants.
correct. I mean, and honestly, he wasn't bad in Oakland. I mean, he had 2 poor years, but a good amount of years there. I mean, he pitched okay. His last year, he had a 3.9 ERA. He finished 11-10. For the A's, that's not bad. He finished with a higher WAR than he did with the Mets this year.
But still, this after he left, he was solid in Oakland. But after he left, he went to the Padres. He had
5.
like a 5 ERA. He had a 4.44 ERA, and then he went to the Mets and had his arguably probably the best season of his career. To be honest, he was amazing. Yeah, he was 11th in Cy Young voting this year.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was very good.
3.5 ERA is not terrible. 12-6. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, so like, I mean, listen, still more moves to be done. Garrett Crochet, like I said, come down to the Mets. Got to make a trade for him.
I'm not big on Garrett Crochet.
Why are you not big on Garrett Crochet?
I mean, if you look at the end of his season, I mean, he was pitching like 3 innings a game.
I know he has injury concerns, and this year they might start him on a slower pace. But
2022, he didn't play because of injury.
yes, injury concerns. But Garrett Crochet, as a player, injuries aside, is a great baseball player. I remember the other night you were saying he just has a good fastball. He doesn't. He has more to that.
I mean, listen, he's got a 3.6 ERA last year. Strikeout numbers were great, 209. Walk rate very low. He only walked 33 guys. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not a bad guy. Not a bad guy to add at all. But
He would be big time.
I don't see the value with him as of now.
Why? Just because of injuries?
I mean, injuries, even like when he comes back, like they play him on an innings constraint.
I mean, that's just a start, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't pitched. He's been in the league since 2020. He hasn't pitched a lot. I mean, this was his first season with a good amount of innings, and even then, he was still hurt and out.
I mean, I'm looking at the MLB percentile rankings, and in pitching, he ranks almost at the top, around 91, 92 for each category. He ranks almost at the top of each.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Pitcher
listen, his
percentile.
strikeout numbers were insane.
Well, that's the thing. That's the risk you got to take. Obviously, there's injury concerns. He's still a young
But that's a
player.
risk you take at the right price. Like, you don't pay him a lot of money because you don't know if he's going to play for you.
Well, that's the thing. You got to wait. I think he's extension eligible. Don't think this year or next year. I think it's 2027. I think. So, let's say you trade for him now. You wait 2 years, see what happens and whatnot.
But then again, you got to make sure you don't get fleeced in a trade because I know they're asking for a lot.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the risk you got to take, though. I mean, you got to worry. I mean, you're gonna have to trade a lot of prospects, obviously, but
No, that's what it's gonna have to be.
But yeah,
Rangers, you got Jake Berger.
no one cares about Jake Berger.
There's some people that do.
No one cares
Evaldi
about.
back.
Damn it!
They get Evaldi back, and they get Jake Berger.
I wanted a Voldy.
They're trying to make another postseason run after falling short last year.
They just need DeGrom healthy.
Yeah, if they could get DeGrom healthy, their pitching rotation will be nuts. Their lineup is not bad. They got a nice lineup. Seager's a dog, one of the best shortstops. Simeon is a great contact guy. Wyatt Langford has been a young guy coming up on the rise. Josh Young, injury concerns, but he's he's really coming into form. So they have a squad brewing down there after winning that championship, but they just need health because that's a team that got beat bad by injuries last year. Seager went out, Langford, Josh Young went out, DeGrom was out like the whole year, so That's a team that if they could stay healthy, might be back in that deep postseason run.
Yeah. Honestly, all they need is really health at this point.
Yeah,
But
that's it. Health is the only thing holding them back right now.
yeah. Juan Soto was probably the biggest signing over the past week, but the second biggest was probably Max Fried to the Yankees. I saw there was a lot of hate, not just from Mets fans, but like fans across the MLB over that deal. I think it was 8 years.
218 for 8.
8-2-18. But I think it's a good deal. I mean, obviously, Max Fried does have some injury concerns as well, but I think over the past 2 years he has been healthy. And he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and I think 27 mil a year is, I mean, that's pretty good. You also got to think Yankees got money. We're in a big market. They're going to continue to make money. So 27 million isn't that crazy. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, no, it is the largest deal for a lefty, though.
It is, but at the same time, it's not like this deal was given by a small market team, and it's like
No,
I'm
but
saying
that's the problem. Is a small market team can't give this deal, so there's just no competition anymore in the MLB, and that's something.
well, that's happens with no. So why you think they should add cap space?
Yeah, I think there's got to be a cap. I mean, because you're going to be in the spot where the A's, the Royals.
That's the thing. It's hard for like I was thinking about this. It's hard for someone to be. I feel like it's hard for someone to be a fan of like a small market team
because they have no shot. I mean, the A's have no shot at landing any of these guys because they don't have money, and it's like
the Severino deal was the biggest contract they gave out,
and 67 mil. That's it, 67 mil, and that's a lot. I mean, Soto's making 50 mil a year, and they just paid 67 mil for the largest. And I think there's got to be a salary cap because at some point, it's already getting out of hand because again, Juan Soto's great, but no one's worth $50 million. It's just getting out of hand, and at some point, and I mean, it's already happening.
I mean, that's how it is in every sport, though. It's
yeah, but there's
to that
cap
point.
though.
There's cap, but I'm saying
So like you still have
guys,
to build a roster ish.
But I know you're saying like, oh, 50 million's a lot, but like, look at every sport. I mean.
Oh, I don't think anybody deserves $50 million.
Because I'm saying, looking like the NBA, like I think it was like Luka or Jokic or something. Their next contract extension is going to be like at least $70 million a year, at least 70. Or Dak Prescott, he just got $60 million a year this past offseason.
No, I mean no one.
So you just think, like, it just in general, that money is absurd for
anybody. I mean, there were guys back then that were unbelievable, like Dan Marino and Aikman and Steve Young and all these guys. They didn't make $80 million a year. They made a nice lump sum and balled out. Now everyone's just like, I want $85 million a year. Oh, you don't want to pay me? Somebody will pay me. It's like, it's just ruining sports because now sports isn't about building a team. It's about who's going to give me money. And it's shying away, which is why right now, like for me, like the NHL, I mean, you just can't beat it. I mean, Connor McDavid's arguably, second greatest all-time player. He's making
how much is he making?
He's making like $10 million a year. $10 million a year, and that's like the highest. That's one of the highest contracts. Igor Shesterkin wanted $11 million a year, and people were like, it's high. Like that's how it has to be. You make the single digits, maybe in the middle digits.
No, I'll ask you this. In baseball, it goes by. Doesn't it go by like I'm saying? A team like the A's, they can spend obviously. Having a rich like owner is definitely a big factor, but also doesn't it go by what your team brings in as well? Like
it's a little bit of both, but at the same time, like you're not going to bring in money if you can't bring in players.
Yeah,
like they have nobody on the team, so nobody goes to the games, which is why they were so bad. Mm-hmm. If they got Juan Soto, people would be going to see some A's games
and not bring in more money and help them spend more.
But they don't have the money for Juan Soto, so they can't bring in money. So it's like the saying, you got to spend money to make money.
That's the thing. It's hard. I feel like. For these teams, like obviously, like I'm fine with it.
Obviously, as a big market team, you're going to be fine with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like Mets fans or Yankees or Dodgers or like these like or Phillies, these teams that are in big markets. Obviously, they're not going to complain about it because like you see like a team like the Mets, they just paid Juan Soto and they're like, all right, yeah, now we can go spend 150 plus to bring back Alonso or 100 to bring back Manaea. It's like. There is no limit. While some of these other teams are like the A's or the Rockies or like some of these other teams, they're struggling to bring in guys. It's like Luis Severino, biggest contract in their franchise history. That's insane. That's insane. But
67 mil a year.
at that same time, it's like, I gotta say, who's the A's owner?
I mean, yeah, but it's just everything. I mean, that's why like you need a cap because I'm not saying it'll alleviate the problem, but it'll definitely help the problem, and you'll get like I mean, you just the
How do you do that? Like, how do you do a cap now with some of the contracts that have been given out? I feel like it's gonna take a while.
you just have to be like whatever the contracts are now are like, and that's what it is. But like starting next year, this is the cap.
I feel like they should do it down the line. Like the longest contract right now in the MLB. What is it? Soto's 15 years, right? That's probably the biggest. Like, shouldn't you wait until that's up? Like, put a set date and say
It's
like
far though, like that.
it is far.
That's gonna be 15 years of what we're having now, which is not.
Well, here's the
fun.
thing. Then it depends on what the cap number is.
Well, like you'd have to, like I said, like you'd have to set it right, and you have to be like, okay, like I'm just gonna throw out numbers because to make this easy, but just say like, all right, the cap 200 million, right? You get 200 million a year, and you can't go over it. But if you have guys over right now, that's fine. You just can't add a new contract over that. So you leave it the way it is. You make the salary cap. If somebody's over it, fine for right now since the contract's already been there. But then you can't go over it from down the line. And that's how you alleviate the problem or help the problem. Because if it's like this, I mean, it's going to be over. It's going to be the same 8 teams in the playoffs. The Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the Phillies.
But some of these owners, I just checked, the owner of the A's, John Fisher, he makes $3.2 billion. And like, obviously, like, you bringing in a bigger player will help bring in fans. And then it'll start to... That's how you get started, I feel like.
Yeah, but again, it's not just like it's not like, oh, he's got money he can pay. Like it's not that easy. Like you still need a franchise where like they don't have anything.
But that's my point. I feel like you gotta take a risk. You gotta take a risk and bring in someone to start bringing in fans and start to turn your franchise around. I feel like
Well, that's what they're trying to do. They're moving out of Oakland. They're trying
they're going to where are they going? Sacramento?
No, I think maybe for now, but I think they're trying to go to Vegas.
That would help big time.
And get some more market, but
that would definitely help. That I think once that happens, I don't know how long you think it'll take. Like a few years, probably.
a couple of years,
I think whenever it does happen, though, that their franchise will definitely turn around
a little bit. But yeah, it's just that sad. Like all the sports now, it's just all top heavy. There's no like, it's balanced. Like anybody's in it. It's like no, it's the same teams.
I mean, strictly for baseball though. I mean, every other league has a cap.
Yeah, but you could see. I mean, even like
the NBA has
the
cut
NFL.
down. The NBA has cut down.
NBA has cut down a little.
They did
the 2010s to 20s, it was always the Warriors, the Cavs. Like you had the same teams in every year.
But that's also because of KD taking like less money.
Yeah, but even before KD went there, the Warriors were there.
Well, they drafted amazing though. I mean, that's one of the things.
Well, the Warriors did, and the Cavs did originally, and then LeBron left and came back. But
the Cavs and Warriors, I feel like you can't really blame it on anything cap-wise, because like Warriors drafted all their guys.
Well, no, you can, but
LeBron came there, he left, and while they were bad, they got Kyrie, Kevin Love, and then LeBron came back. It's just like those two teams. I think it's hard to blame.
It's not blaming them, and I'm not blaming the cap. Like outside of baseball, I'm not blaming the cap. I'm just saying like it's like most sports now are just becoming like you're just seeing the same teams in the playoffs. I mean, and some of that is drafting. I mean, you look at the Chiefs, like they drafted Mahomes, they paid him. Now they're in the playoffs every year, winning Super Bowls. Bills draft Josh Allen, now they're in the playoffs every year. Always usually in the finals, like the West Finals, losing to or the AFC Finals, losing to the Chiefs. So it's not all cap and stuff like that, because a lot of it is like you draft a player and you hit and you pay them. But it's just like, yeah, the Chiefs are winning Super Bowls. Yes, Mahomes is generational. But again, like nobody's worth $50 million to play a sport. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just...
That's how sports is now. I mean...
It's just not like...
I mean, $50 million, you get 1 year 50 mil. I'm just saying, if someone got 1 year 50 mil, they're set for life.
That's what I'm saying,
That's
and that's
insane.
what I'm saying about these college players now. Is like now college basketball, college football, like they're getting paid like $8 million, $9 million,
I
$10 million.
strongly disagree with NIL.
Like
I strongly disagree with NIL. I think that's
you're paying these guys more money than most people make in a lifetime to play a year of basketball at their school or a year of football at their school. It's like,
I mean, you got to think these guys are like 18 years old.
like Cooper Flag. I don't know how much he's getting, but he's getting millions.
He's probably gonna shit.
Millions for 1 year at Duke. 1 year, because he's going to the NBA after that. 1 year at Duke, they're giving him millions of dollars.
Oh, I keep bringing it up, but I think the quarterback is like Underwood, who went from like LSU to Michigan, and like again, like he's like 18 years old, and he's gonna be bringing in 2.5 mil a year, while playing football.
I mean, just because he's good at football.
And again, by the way, he can suck the rest of his college career, and he's gonna end up leaving with $10 million.
Right, and that's it.
And then guess what he said? Whatever he does from that point on,
He's got $10 million.
So yeah, I got $10 million. I'm pretty much set for a good while, maybe life, depending on how you allocate the money.
I know. Everything's about money, and that's just ruining all sports.
And I think cap space, I don't really have that big of an issue with, but I think when we go into NIL, I don't like NIL, and I think it ruined it. It ruined college sports.
Yeah, I mean, college isn't terrible yet because, college football is always bad. It was always bad because you had the same 7 teams in the playoffs every year. I mean, it was
I'm not big on any college sports, but I'm not really big on college football because it's so so offense heavy.
It's not even that though. Like, I mean, now they have the 12-team playoffs, which I think was one of the best things they ever did. But you had a 4-team playoff, one which is absurd. How are you going to put 4 teams in the playoff?
It was normally the same, like.
And it was teams. Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan. You know, and then once a year you toss like an LSU in there, you toss a Clemson in there.
12-team playoffs is definitely better.
It's definitely
100% better. But it doesn't.
Basketball though is, I mean, you had coming back to back, but nobody wins back to back. You get a different team in the finals almost every year.
College basketball I think is better because of how many teams make it?
Well, 64.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
technically like 66 to 68, but the play-ins 64 make it.
The way they do their playoffs and postseason, I think college basketball blows.
I mean,
maybe it's a little bit closer now because of the 12-team playoffs, but like
it's
I
still
feel
not
like
close because
March Madness is still better.
Like March Madness, people argue. You could argue all you want. Like, is arguably the greatest postseason format there is. Everybody watches the first round. Everybody makes brackets. Everybody's all in.
Dude, it's so interesting.
Like
I'm not even into college basketball, but like sometimes I'll tune into a March Madness.
You tune in. You're at school. It's 12 p. It's noon.
Games are going on.
You're in a class.
Games are literally going on at almost all times.
All times, the first and second round. So college basketball hasn't been ruined yet. It's still been very good.
Yes,
I think
it's good.
We might get there.
How do you think they get there?
To being ruined, just to the point where like everyone gets paid, and then again you have these small market schools that like the St. Peter's that made a Cinderella run won't be able to make a Cinderella run because their guys are just nowhere near.
It's like we were just saying about like the how they expanded to a 12-team playoffs, but like at the same time, still now you can off the top of your head you can name like 10 to 12 or maybe even 15 schools that bring in a shit ton of money. So it's the same thing. It's going to be a 12-team playoffs with all those top teams. Now instead of 4 of those top teams, it's going to be 12 of those top teams.
Now instead of Alabama being 5 and missing it, it's going to be 5 and being 5 seed. So
it's like that's the problem. I don't know. They're not going to go back. Right? There's just no way.
They're not going to go back to 4, and they shouldn't, but...
No, I mean like NIL. Like, it's just going to stay in sports.
It's over. Yeah. Because how are you going to go back? People are getting paid already. And then they're making the video games. What names? You can't make the video games with names if they don't have the NIL deal. So...
That's insane.
Like, I'm all for, like, a Shadur getting paid by whatever ad season, whatever commercials. Like, they want to pay him. State Farm wants to pay him.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're in the commercial, you get paid. If I'm in a commercial, I get paid. That's how it is. But the school itself, Colorado, should not be paying this guy. You want to pay him? You give him the scholarship. You say you don't have to pay for tuition here.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
You pay him the tuition. If it's $58,000 a year, you pay him $58,000 a year.
That's how it should be.
And he doesn't have to pay for college. But you don't pay him $8 million because he's playing football for your school. It doesn't happen like that.
That's unbelievable. I mean, normally people would determine their decision by genuinely which school they like better, which like sports program, like basketball,
Which coach
football,
is better,
which coach,
the program.
their foundation and everything. Now it's just kind of like people. Obviously, they might still look at that a little bit, but now everyone's like, all right, this school's paying me 10 mil. This other school's paying me fucking like 6 mil.
I want 10 mil.
So I'm gonna, yeah. This from John Heyman. Astros want Rookie of the Year Luis Gil in package for superstar outfielder Kyle Tucker. The discussion with the Cubs involves outfielder Seiya Suzuki, like we mentioned before, and Isaac Paredes. Paredes, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't give up Gil. Rookie of the Year. You need pitching in the playoffs. He's a star. He's young. I would not give him up for Tucker.
I mean, Gil's a starter, right? He's one of your starting pitchers, yeah. So I mean, you have Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Gil. I feel like
Clark Schmidt before injury was pitching at a high level. So you have stars. You don't want to give that up.
I think you don't. I feel like you have already 3 good pitchers, or really good pitchers. I wouldn't trade it for.
No.
You wouldn't trade. So you wouldn't trade for that for Kyle Tucker?
I wouldn't trade Gil for Tucker. No. Because you're talking about a Rookie of the Year pitcher who's young. Mm-hmm. And yes, you're talking about a superstar in Tucker, and he's a great player, but the value, like, the biggest need in all teams is pitching. Great pitching beats great hitting every day of the week. So you need guys that can pitch before you have guys that can hit. You have the guys that can pitch, but you can't trade those guys now for hit because then you'll just flip it. You'll have guys that can hit but no pitching. And
I don't know. It goes hand in hand. Definitely pitching. It's almost like in basketball saying like defense wins championships. It's also like pitching wins championships too. But also you do need great hitters.
You need hitting for sure.
Like I said, it goes hand in hand. Like I remember people were talking about like Juan Soto versus Max Fried. I saw Yankees fans talking about that. How like Max Fried's so good and like he's gonna like shut down Soto. But like at the same time, when you're that good of a hitter, Soto is batting a 333 versus Max Fried in his career. So I'm saying, like, obviously...
Some pitchers have your number. I mean, you look at guys like...
my point is, you need good pitchers, but also you need hitters, because some hitters can combat that. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, you have Max Fried, but Juan Soto...
Like, that's just one example. Like, there's probably guys Juan Soto doesn't hit well against, and, you know... So
obviously.
Like,
but my point is, while you do need pitching... You need hitting.
You need both. You need a team. Like, I mean, it's a team game. Like you can't have neither.
Yeah, I'm saying it's equally. Like, you can, like, if you...
I don't think it's equally. I think pitching is a little more... I mean, because maybe 2017, the Astros played the Yankees. Garrett Cole was on the bump for the Astros. Shut down the Yankees lineup. Shut them down. Single-handedly, they scored no runs, 1 run, whatever it was. Shut them down. They won the game. So, if you could do that a couple times this series, and you have multiple guys that could do that, and shut down a lineup where you only need 2 runs...
Maybe it's a little bit more. I feel like it's a little bit more. But at that same time, if you have a great pitching staff and your hitters are like, then at the same time, your pitchers are going to shut down the other team. But since you don't have great hitters, now the other team's going to shut you down.
Well, but that's the thing. That's where you need a couple of guys, like just even like 3 or 4. And then like if they can scratch across 2 runs, and then your pitching shuts them down. So like that's where it's like, if you have great pitching and hitting, you're a lot better spot than having great hitting and pitching. Because even with great hitting, like, you're going to have off days. Like, these guys bat 250, 260. That's average. That's not even, like, good. Like, back then, like, you were batting, like, 300, 310.
Times have changed, though.
I agree.
Like I'm saying, the league average for batting average has gone...
down big time.
Yes.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. So, like, the average has gone down, which means hitters, you could say pitchers have gotten better, hitters have gotten worse. You could say whatever you want. But the numbers have gone down. Mm-hmm. So... It's harder to now get a great hitter because they all bat 240, 250. Instead, you could go get a great pitcher that's consistent and shutting down the guys, making them hit 240, 230. So, I mean, you need pitching more than you need hitting. Obviously, you need both, but like I wouldn't trade Heel because you need the pitching a lot more.
Yeah. But I still think, not only just for you guys, but like I feel like actually... Yeah, for you guys. I think you need another move.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's early. I mean, I think in the sense of our starting rotation, it's set. I mean, if we want to get Corbin Burns, by all means,
No,
get
I
Corbin
wasn't
Burns.
talking about. I wasn't talking about your pitching. Like pitching aside, I think you guys need another move.
Well, no, of course. I mean, listen, right now the lineup is Judge, and 8 guys. So they definitely need to go out there and make another move.
That's the thing, because like last year, thing was you had like Soto and Judge, and then the bottom of your lineup was
Trash.
yeah. So
So-
you were basically relying on Soto and Judge to win you games. So
Which it worked in the regular season. It worked a little in the postseason. I mean, they got to the finals, but
yeah. Now that you lost Soto, I feel like you need to bring in like at least another 2 guys.
well, if they could get Bellinger, that would be huge. I love Bellinger. I don't know what their asking price is for him and what's going on with that, but if they get Bellinger, that'd be huge. And go out there and grab like a nice I mean, you have Volpe, who's, I mean, he's good, he's young, he struggled, but I'm okay with him there. You have Judge in the outfield, get Bellinger in the outfield. I mean, Jazz is I mean, he has his moments up and down.
Wasn't he bad in the playoffs?
Everyone's bad in the playoffs. I mean, everybody's bad in the playoffs.
Not everyone. Like you mean on the Yankees?
I mean, other than Soto and Stanton, but even then, like, Stanton, I think all of his hits were pretty much home runs. So, like, if he didn't hit a home run, he didn't get a hit. So, as great as he wasn't, as clutch as he was, like, he wasn't, like, he didn't do much other than just hit, like, a home run. Like, he didn't get a base hit when we needed it. So, I think Soto was the standout star. So, Stanton had clutch moments, and then the rest of the lineup was trash. And but I like Jazz. I think he's an average guy that you could keep there. Mm-hmm. Volpe is in the same spot. I think he's average, but I think he could be above average.
Yeah.
Judge is generational, best player in the league. And then like if you get Bellinger, that would be huge. And then you gotta figure out some of the other holes. But
I saw you guys were like, I don't know if this is true. You guys were talking to Christian Walker. I don't know if talks.
yeah, I saw
last-
like a 3-year deal. They were trying to give him like
I don't know if the talks slowed down because I feel like last night everyone's like, oh, it's like it might actually happen, and then today I feel like I haven't heard anything. And obviously they could still be talking, but I think other teams are also interested. So it's like doing his due diligence.
If they could get Walker and Bellinger, I think that would be enough. I think that'd be enough to make them a dangerous team, just because you'd have 3 like really. I mean, you'd have a superstar, you'd have the greatest of all time, you have a GOAT Judge.
Disagree.
You have a solid player in Bellinger, who I think is coming back to his MVP ways after that last season. You'd have a solid Christian Walker, and then you'd have a guy like Jazz and Volpe to just pick up the slack once in a while.
So what's your number one move you want to see the Yankees make? Free agency or trade?
Well, I would like, I mean, because if we're going realistic, I mean, I would like Bellinger first, because I think he's probably a little bit better than Christian Walker.
Yeah.
So I would like for them to go. I mean, if you get Kyle Tucker at the right price, sure. But
That's the
I
thing.
know like
Kyle Tucker is he's a great player. So like I
like
feel
the asking price is a lot.
the asking price is going to be. I feel like if they trade him to the Yankees, it's one of those things where it's like we want everything from you.
And the thing is like what the Cubs are offering right now is it's going to be tough to beat, because Suzuki's a stud. He's a great outfielder, and Paredes is okay, but it's a nice addition. So I don't know if the Yankees are going to be able to beat that unless they give up a star, which I don't think they need to. But if you get Bellinger at a nice price, a couple prospects, picks, by all means take him. And then I don't know what it would take for Walker, but you get Walker, and I think you're looking solid. Pitching staff is.
I mean, Yankees could also make a run at Kyle Tucker.
Well, they're gonna make a run.
Like I'm saying, not trade wise. I'm saying free agency. Kind of like how last year when you guys traded for Soto, there were some reporters saying like, watch out for the Mets next year. It could this like Kyle Tucker, no matter what, gets traded to the Cubs or the Yankees, going to hit free agency and see who's going to give him the most money. He's not going to sign an extension. So it could be
the waters.
It could be one of those things that happen with the Mets and Soto. It could be he gets traded to the Cubs and people are like, watch out for the Yankees next year, or the other way around. He gets traded to the Yankees. People are like, watch out for the Cubs or another one of these teams that want to,
Right.
that interested in him. So I mean, yeah.
I mean, Arenado's another guy. I mean,
He had a little bit of a down year hitting wise.
yeah, he's getting old. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's 33 right now.
I think he's starting to decline a little bit. on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a great defender, though.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind him. I think I think anybody, but the Yankees give him at a nice price because I think.
That's the thing. He wasn't gonna. Who's your third baseman right now?
Well, it's Jazz, but Jazz can play the outfield
Yeah.
too. So they moved Jazz to the outfield and put Arenado at third.
Well, I don't know if he was in. I don't know.
I saw a report originally that said he would go to the Yankees, like he would waive his trade clause. But then I saw like reports that said like he wasn't in the 6 teams. So I don't know like who is and who's not.
I would love that. That's one move I would love for the Mets, and I brought that up the other day, like when I was just talking. But like, I think if you have Vientos at DH and Arenado at third base, that'd be great because he improves your infield defense significantly.
Anybody, yeah.
And he can learn from Arenado, and maybe when he retires in 2-3 years, you put Vientos back at third base, and maybe he's still putting up those hitting numbers, and he's an improved defender.
Maybe.
I mean, that would be the goal with that move. And obviously, if you do a move like that, it'd be win now. I don't know the asking price for what it'd be for him,
Right.
Because he is older.
I don't know if it would be too high, but it.
He did have a down year hitting. Yeah. Also, he is on a declining contract. I saw. I think it's like 21 mil this year. Then it's like 16 and 15. It is going down, so that there is a lot of value there. Like I said, there's ups and downs with trading for him and whatnot.
Right.
So,
of course.
Yeah. Also, I just saw a report that Sean Manaea might pass Eovaldi's 3-year, $750 million contract.
3 years, $75 million.
Yeah, 75. What'd I say?
750. 250 mil a year.
Oh no, it was my bad. But
What? With the Mets or just anywhere?
just in general, that's why a lot of teams are interested in him. He's still like if Eovaldi is getting at age, I think he's like 34, 35. If he's getting 3 years, $75 million. Manaea is 33, 2 years younger, and he put up better numbers than him. I think it will pass that. But at that point, as much as I love Sean Manaea back, at what point are you going to say we're going to go look elsewhere? Because if Manaea is asking for, here's the thing: if Manaea is going to ask for like, let's say I don't know, close to 30 mil a year, I'd rather go spend another $5 million and go get Corbin Burns. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because he also is younger than Manaea. I think there is a cutoff point.
There's got to be. I mean, at some point, yeah, you have to just be like, all right, you got to cut it off somewhere.
Or if you are going to a certain point with Manaea and he's like, I want close to 30 mil, I'd be like, then I contact Corbin Burns and be like, all right, you're younger and you're better, so what do you want? And if the numbers are close, I would go get Corbin Burns.
For sure. I mean, Corbin Burns is much better.
Yeah, so, honestly, it's just wait and see. But,
I think we got to talk about this college basketball schedule on Saturday.
wow, a lot of big games.
I mean, it's one of the biggest college basketball days of the year, schedule-wise. A lot of ranked matchups.
St. John's play?
I don't believe so. But Rutgers does. They host Seton Hall for the New Jersey rivalry. Mm-hmm. Although Seton Hall's been trash.
Still, a rivalry is a rivalry, no matter whatever the case is.
For the New Jersey rivalry.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Monmouth beat
Seton Hall.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So on December 14th, you have Louisville at Kentucky.
Uh-huh.
So the Kentucky rivalry.
Yeah.
Xavier at Cincinnati. That's the Ohio rivalry. Mm-hmm. Tennessee at Illinois. 2 ranked teams. Illinois just fell out of the rankings.
Yeah.
Gonzaga at UConn. Mm-hmm. Both ranked. UCLA and Arizona. Memphis and Clemson. Creighton at Alabama. And those are just some of like the top games. And then, again, you have the Rutgers hosting Seton Hall, which is a big game for Rutgers per se, because you kind of can't lose that one.
Yeah.
But Yeah, just a nice Saturday in college basketball.
So what's those all the games or there's more?
There's more. I mean, you
So
have
is there like a rivalry day in college basketball? Like how does that work?
like, I mean, there's not a rivalry day, but they've been doing a lot of rivalries, in-state
Yeah.
rivalries this year, with a lot of schools, which has been nice. I mean, number 11 Purdue takes on number 17 Texas A&M on Saturday. I mean, there's a lot of ranked matchups. You know, in-state rivalry matchups. So it's definitely a big day in the college sports.
Yeah. Got the NBA Cup going on. Last night, Thunder advanced, Bucks advanced. Knicks facing the Hawks tonight at 7. Warriors facing the Rockets at 9:30. I think, yeah, after this one, I think it's if the Knicks win, they'll face the Bucks, and then it's championship round for the Cup.
After that round,
Yeah.
if they beat the Bucks,
Yeah, if Knicks beat the Hawks, then they face the Bucks, and then they go to the championship.
the Bucks have turned it around, man. I mean, that was a team that started the year very poor.
Yeah, they're 13-11 now. I mean, to no surprise, I mean, Giannis, I think Giannis is averaging like 33, like 12, and like he's on a tear right now. I mean, the problem is with the Bucks, I know Giannis is doing this, but I think they'll make the postseason, but like barely.
Probably. I mean, the East is a weaker division. So, I mean, it's going to be easier for them to make it.
Yeah, Bucks are the 60 right now at 13-11. There is currently 7 teams above 500. Yeah, but I think after this year, Giannis is going to request a trade. I don't see him staying with the Bucks.
Yeah, and I think Dame's
Dame's
got to get out. I think Dame should go back to Portland. We talked about this a couple episodes ago, but I think Portland's in a really good spot right now where they're just missing a veteran guy with some leadership, and I think that would be the perfect piece to bring him back.
The only thing is, what's his contract? Because I don't know if they're going to trade for it yet. 25, 26. So he get 54 mil next year, then he has a player option. Realistically, I think they trade him to a team for 1 year. Actually, nah. I was going to say he's not opting out of 58 mil at 36 years old. There's no way. I don't see it. It's $58 million.
It really depends on what the Bucks situation is. I mean, if the Bucks are like that bad, maybe he'll go. I mean, he's made a lot of money. Like, this is where like I know most NBA players or athletes don't care. Like, they just want the money. But like, you've made so much money. Like, 58 mil to you now is nothing. I mean,
It is nothing, but like that's
But like I'm saying,
58
like,
mil. It's 58 mil.
but 58 mil to play on a bad team, like depending on where the Buck state is, like.
Well, they might trade him. I think even like what is Dame averaging now? Because I'm saying even at this point,
26 and 7.
he's averaging 26 for 7 on 45 from the field. I mean, listen, he's still
producing.
producing. My only thing is, if he doesn't go back to Portland, what team do you think would be a good fit for him out of all NBA teams, East or West?
I think the Spurs would be a great fit. You run him with Stephon Castle. You have Wembanyama at the 5. I think that would be a great fit. They're just missing a nice, solid point guard. Chris Paul's not cutting it anymore.
Chris Paul's actually having a nice season though.
Yeah, he is, but I mean,
What about the Jazz? That's one where Lauri Markkanen's young and he's an all-star. Their entire team is young.
yeah,
Dame can go there and be a vet. And I think if you have Dame, Lauri, and just a young squad, I feel like that'd be nice.
Yeah,
I think
that'd be a good fit.
And also I remember a few years ago, don't know why, someone asked him on like Twitter or something like, where would you want to play if Portland traded you? And he said like either like the Lakers or like the Jazz, like Utah. He likes Utah. So I'm saying
It was close. It's close to Portland.
yeah.
So
I mean, I see it as a fit. I think the Jazz are nice. I think the Spurs are also nice. Dame and Wemby. I think anyone with Wemby is just like a great fit.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think right now you're looking at like maybe 4 teams for the finals.
For in the NBA?
Yeah.
What 4 teams?
You're looking at Boston again
Yeah.
to
I
be
agree.
back. You're looking at the Mavericks, the Thunder.
And the Knicks.
I mean, the Knicks, yeah, the East is really, really bad. So I could see it being like Knicks, Celtics, conference finals.
I think if everyone stays healthy, I think that's what it'll be. I think it'll be Knicks Celtics. Knicks are better than every team.
Maybe the Cavs, if they, I mean, like,
Nah, their team. There's reminds me of the Jazz in 2021. I don't know if you remember, but do you remember the Jazz were like the first seed and they were like on an unbelievable tear, and everyone thought they were going
Was
to the
Mitchell on
finals?
that team too?
Yeah, Mitchell was on that team. My thing is, they don't have guys that perform in the playoffs. Same thing with that Utah team. They don't really have guys that perform. So once they get there, they sell. It's like the Knicks beat that same exact Cavs team. Actually, was Donovan Mitchell on it? No, I don't think so. But still, Knicks added a lot, Cavs added a lot. But still, I just think they have the same core group of guys.
yeah. I mean, in reality, I don't think the Knicks could beat the Celtics like that. I think the depth of the Celtics is just too much. Again, I mean, that would be barring the Knicks get healthy with Mitch coming back and all that.
I think that shit goes to 7.
I think if it's right now, like with the health of both teams, like I don't think the Knicks take it far. I think if you guys could get some depth back and have a bench, then I think maybe it could go to 7. Like, and
Well, Celtics have Horford and Peyton Pritchard off the bench. Knicks have Mitchell Robinson. And
right now.
Well, I'm saying when healthy, when everyone's healthy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. When I said
So-
when healthy, I think it goes. I said, but if it's right now, I don't think the Knicks have a chance.
Well, yeah, they're not everyone is. I mean, Precious just came back, but Mitch is on the rise and returning. I think right now Mitch is definitely an X factor. I mean, he is a great rebounder and interior defender, and that's the thing. You can run him and Cat, or you can just run him like at center. It gives you a lot of versatility, just like how it gives Boston versatility. I mean, you start Kristaps, and then you got Al Horford, who, I mean, he's close to 40 years old, and he can still drain threes.
So it's Kevin Love.
So, yeah, I mean, guys like that drain threes, still they rebound the ball. They're gritty players. I mean, it just, you know. But realistically, though, I think there is kind of like at this point in the NBA, I only see 4 teams: the Thunder, Mavs, Celtics, Knicks as only true final contenders. But obviously, things can change. Teams can improve. Trade deadline comes up in another 2 months. So
True. And I mean, I think the same thing with the Knicks is the same thing with Dallas. I mean, if Dallas stays healthy, I don't really see any team beating them. Like, and I don't know if they've really lost maybe one game this year when they were all healthy.
You're saying Dallas?
Yeah. I mean,
Well, Dallas, I feel like they just have a good team. I mean,
they have a great team with depth. I mean, you have
Luka and Kyrie as your 2 stars, and then you have Klay Thompson. I do love that addition.
it's a great addition because that's what they needed, just a sharpshooter.
I know they lost Derrick Jones Jr., but at the same time,
You got Najee Marshall back.
yeah, you got Najee Marshall
And I
back.
think Najee Marshall offensively is much better. I mean, Najee Marshall has been putting up. I mean, he dropped 19 last game. Like
They just made great moves. I mean, no matter Klay Thompson at his current state is still an amazing addition on any team. Because even if
100%.
he's not a great defender, I think he's about average right now, but still, he's still a sharpshooter. And in a playoff series, having to guard Luke and Kyrie, and now you got Klay Thompson at the wing.
yeah, and the minute you double one of them, you hit
And,
Clay.
and what happens in a playoff game right now if Klay Thompson goes nuclear, because he has in many, not only playoff games in this age or even regular season games, if he's like that X factor, he's that guy where, let's say there's a playoff series where Klay Thompson is just out of his mind, then
over.
The series is
over.
because now you're worried about Klay Thompson
Who's
sharpshooting,
the third option?
sharpshooting, and you still got to deal with Luke and Kyrie. Ends the series. That's why I think he is the X factor for them, no matter who you have.
I'm a big guy on big man centers. I mean, you cannot win without a good center, no matter who you are.
Mavs got 2 centers who are kind of have
I mean,
similar games.
I think probably the best 1-2 punch in the league. I mean, Daniel Gafford, I think, is leading the league in field goal percentage, if I'm not wrong. I think he's at like 70% or up there. And
Okay, what do you mean 1-2 punch?
Like in the sense of centers.
Nah, Knicks are better. Like, where would you have it ranked? I think the Knicks have the best in the league.
1-2 punch center wise?
I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson.
I don't know.
Don't
I mean, Cat's probably better than both Lively and Gafford, but I think Lively and Gafford are both better than Mitch.
No way.
Mitch
Dude,
might
Mitchell Robinson is very, very good.
I don't think you. I mean, Daniel Gafford. I think,
I
like
know-
I said,
I know
leads the
they're-
league in field goal percentage. And
I understand that, but Mitchell Robinson, I'm just saying, last season, before he got injured, and even when he came back, he was going to have the greatest like rebounding or offensive rebounding season in NBA history. Like, he is one of the best rebounding big men in basketball.
I'm not knocking him. I don't.
I think he's better. I think he's better than both. Especially he brings you rim protection, interior defense. Like I said, they're similar. Mitch, Gafford, and Lively are similar players. I do think Mitch is the best out of all of them, though.
I don't know. Personally,
I think Lively, though, has a higher ceiling than Mitch.
I think Lively is better than Mitch.
No, I still think Mitch is better right now, but I think ceiling wise, I think Mitch has hit his ceiling where we know what he's going to be, and I mean what he is good. He's a good basketball player, but I think Lively has potential to go to that, to be a defensive player of the year candidate in the future.
Maybe.
I mean he's quick. He has great rim protection. I mean, this is kind of what people expected him when he was coming out of college. And I just missed this. The Boston Red Sox are finalizing a trade to acquire Garrett Crochet from the White Sox. How did this not pop up? The deal's in the medical phase, not official, but trending towards it. Damn it! Oh my gosh! The top prospect Kyle Teal. They're trading.
I don't even know what that is.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, my sources are telling me Mets lose out on Crochet.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's Andrew said? Andrew. Oh my God. Wait. Yankees fans, what are we going to do?
It's a tough one. It's a
mainly
tough one for
Andrew.
the Mets because their biggest need is pitching, and they just can't seem to land a guy yet on that pitching staff.
Listen, there's still some options.
There is. I mean, it's early, but I mean, the options are running out for the top guys. I mean, you signed a reliever to be a starter, and as in Clay Holmes, and he wasn't even good for the Yankees as a reliever.
I mean, there's still two guys that I feel like
Montas is the same. I don't like Montas. He wasn't really that good.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't that good. This is another one of those Stern signings where I think he was good, not good, but like he was above average post All-Star break last year. But I mean, for Stearns to sign him, he definitely sees something in him and thinks that the pitching staff could help him. But realistically, there's still two guys that you can trade for. That I feel like I talked about. I see Mets fans talking about. One of them is Jesus Luzardo on the A's. Jesus
Luzardo.
Sorry.
Jesus Luzardo.
It's the same thing. And the other one is Luis Castillo. I mean, those are two guys
Castillo's not bad.
Those are two guys that are on the market that I feel like they can make a move for. And I mean, I think obviously you lose out on Crochet, and that's tough, and especially because it's annoying that the Red Sox got him. But if you bring back Manaea and sign Castillo, and then after that you have Senga, Peterson, Montas, and Clay Holmes, that is still an improved pitching from last year. Last year's was bad, and this year's I feel like if you add Manaea and Castillo to this, I feel like it'd be average, while last year's pitching was not that good.
Maybe. I mean, we definitely have to see how it goes. We'd have to see how it goes.
That's tough, though. That's so tough losing out of Garrett Crochet.
He has the Red Sox vibe. Like, he was a Red Sox. Like, he has the Red Sox.
Now my thing is, where does Corbin Burns go? Because they were interested in him. I mean,
it's not out of the picture that they get him, but
I don't know. I feel like if they got Crochet, I just don't see him going for Burns. I feel like I remember seeing the San Francisco Giants were interested in Burns. That could be an option. Maybe the Blue Jays too. I mean, they want to spend. They want to show Vladdy that they can add a lot more talent before free agency next year, because
I think the Blue Jays need to make a move.
Who?
The Blue Jays.
I think they do. I mean, realistically, if you're Vladdy next offseason and you're a free agent and they missed out on back-to-back. By the way, the Blue Jays offered Soto $760.
I didn't know they offered the same.
Yeah, they went higher than I expected. But back-to-back off seasons, they miss out on Ohtani and Soto. And like, Vladdy's such an amazing first baseman, and he's seeing this. Like, okay, they're struggling to get talent to Toronto. He's gonna go with free agency, talk to other teams, and he's gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta bring in a guy. Maybe it is Corbin Burns. I mean, I think they were interested in Max Free too. I think you gotta bring in a guy.
You gotta get somebody.
You gotta get someone to show him that we can bring talent here. Because I think he's going to be hesitant to sign extension. And truthfully, I think if he does hit free agency next offseason, he is going to leave.
100%. He's gonna be gone.
I mean, he can go to a bigger market, and he can get the money, and he can go play with other good
superstars.
Players. Yeah, other good superstars. I mean, man, I'm still just like, damn, you know?
Not really.
Can't believe it. I thought we were getting them. Truthfully. I know obviously other teams are interested, but I thought we'd be the ones. And they didn't even have to trade their top prospect.
I mean, that's what you could ask for if you're the Red Sox.
I think this guy used the wrong word, but he said, after reaching agreement with Max Fried, the Yankees left talks with Crochet. The Mets, though, he said remain. I think he meant remained engaged with the White Sox for him. But obviously, I don't even know who that guy that got, if he's even that good. But this came from Joel Sherman.
What, Kyle Teal?
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't know who that is.
Like,
I know like Sedin Rafala, or whatever that's a young guy for them.
Didn't even have to trade the top guy. That's wild. But yeah, I just realized Crochet's in your division now.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Why, you're not big on Crochet?
I wasn't big on Crochet. I told you that from before. I wasn't not big on Crochet. So.
Wait a minute. I gotta see some. Because maybe the Mets are still cooking up some.
No, they're not cooking up.
Could they be cooking up Luis Robert?
Luis Robert?
Yeah, Robert.
I don't know. That's Dylan's favorite player, but I don't.
Why is that Dylan's favorite player?
Because like in MLB, he had his card or whatever, and I think he was like that was like the only card he was good with.
But listen, Luis Robert, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I can't tell what this guy is reporting. The Mets remain engaged with the White Sox because obviously Crochet's traded. So I don't know if they're still maybe looking at Robert or whatever the case is. Oh, yeah. So here's the full trade. It's Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery, Chase Mydroth, and Wikelmen Gonzalez. I don't know if you know who any of those guys are.
I think I've heard of Brandon Montgomery, but that might be the only one.
Yeah, please. So I can't even tell. Some people are saying Sox fleeced, Red Sox fleeced. I don't know, White Sox. I can't even tell. But yeah, that's crazy. So this is probably the. Would you say this is like the third biggest move of
Maybe
winter meetings?
No, I think Andres Jimenez was bigger.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was a big move.
Yes, that was.
That was the Blue Jays, right? They got him.
Yeah.
So that was a big move by them, actually. Yeah, they made a nice move for that.
I mean, their Blue Jays have cracked infield defense.
Yeah.
That's what they built. Yeah, that's insane.
That was a solid move.
Yeah,
by them.
so Crochet's probably like the fourth biggest move, and I mean, I don't know because, winter meetings, still going on.
Right.
I don't think this is it though. I think there's still going to be another.
No.
I think there's still going to
of
be
course.
another move, if not the Mets, another team making a big move because I mean there's still the rest of today, and there's still I think people leave normally in the afternoon of winter meetings. So yeah, maybe there's something else. I think there will be.
Yeah, I mean it's still very, very early.
Hopefully the Mets do something because I mean pitchers are just flying off the board. I mean.
Yeah, I mean that you have to go get your pitcher.
I wish we signed Corbin Burns. I hope we do. And even if they're worried about paying a pitcher long term, I'd rather give him less years and more money. Like, let's say his market value is like around 35 mil. I'd be fine giving him 40 mil a year and have it be less years. Like, I would even do like 3 years, 120. I'm not even kidding. I mean, Corbin Burns is great. You don't have to worry about paying a pitcher long term and helps you compete right now.
Yeah, maybe to get him right now, maybe.
Because again, like, not even just with the Yankees, but like Blake Snell, you pay these pitchers long term, and once they get to the late 30s, you start worrying about their production and whatnot. So I feel like the Mets thing is they wanted to get young pitchers. That's why they were interested in Crochet or what's his name? I think Castillo's young too, correct?
Yeah, he's on the younger side. He might be in the mid-20s.
Actually, no, Castillo's 31.
Wait, Luis Castillo's 31?
Yeah, I didn't think he
The
was
one
31.
Mariners?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't think he was that old.
Where's the time went?
Luzardo's 27 though, so I don't know, but things are still cooking up. So
For sure.
gotta wait and see.
For sure.
Gotta wait and see. But yeah, Soto, I think he's getting announced today, and press conference tomorrow. We will be there. Not actually at Citi Field, but we will be there.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I'll be watching, even though I have a final during that time.
let's just say one of the Mets announcers, Keith Hernandez, the broadcaster, when the Yankees played the Mets, there was like a ball over Soto's head. He didn't judge it well. And Keith Hernandez, on the broadcast, said Juan Soto's been a liability out there. You wonder why they would play him in the deepest corner outfield position in this ballpark. And that's the same position he's going to play on the Mets. So don't make it unknown that Keith Hernandez knows he's a liability out there.
Listen,
A former star for the
no.
Mets. Just remember that.
Juan Soto's not. I think Yankees fans.
It's not a Yankees fan.
No.
So that's broadcaster.
Can I finish my statement, please?
He can't finish the statement.
Yankees fans included in this. I think Juan Soto, I know he gets hate for his defense in the outfield, but he's not a bad defender.
He's an okay defender.
He's an average defender. I mean, and if you look at the numbers, it shows it. And I think him saying that, I mean, it's the Subway Series. I think he was a former Mets player. I think as a fan, you know what I'm saying? It's also like fan first. I mean, it's a Yankee Subway Series.
I guess.
There's some competitiveness,
Yeah, maybe I guess.
Because I mean the numbers show otherwise. He's an average defender on the outfield, and I mean that's why the acquisition of Jose Siri definitely helps. Not on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. When your center fielder is probably the best defensive center fielder in the MLB, that's definitely a big help.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. Would you pull that up?
No, it was just on Twitter.
Who pulls that? Mets fan?
Just says, yeah, I think a Yankees fan, but he's also a Giants fan. Yankees, Nets, Rangers.
No. Show me the account. Hold on, turn it more. I can't see.
Yankees, Nets, Rangers, Liberty.
Oh, it's not that guy.
Syracuse, NYCFC.
Yeah.
He took Giants out of his bio.
Yeah, no, it's not the guy. It's not the guy I was thinking of, but either way, like I said, there's competitiveness. He was a Yankee, but now he's a Met, and blessed to have him. Mets fans are blessed to have him.
Of course.
And I guarantee you, what's that announcer's name?
Keith Hernandez.
Yeah. He's definitely happy too. We're all happy, but
Maybe.
that might do it, right?
Yeah.
I think, all right, everyone. I think that might do it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow the socials. And let's go Mets, right? Right? Let's go. Let's go Mets.
Let's do that hockey.
But let's go Juan Soto.
Let's do that
Let's
hockey.
go Juan Soto.
Let's do that hockey.
Let's go Juan Soto.